I manage the worldwide gaming engineering team at AMD. The team is composed of engineers, and those guys work very closely with game developers all around the world to make their games better and run faster on AMD products. GPU Open is a new initiative started by AMD that aims to empower developers with ways to access the GPU in ways that were not possible before. GPU Open is really the continuation of the philosophy that we started a few years ago with Mantle. So Mantle was a low-level API that enabled developers to drive workloads into the GPU a lot more efficiently than before. And now the time has come to do even more, and that's where GPU Open is coming in. One of the problems in the current PC gaming industry is that some libraries come as a black box to developer. A black box is essentially a piece of binary code for which no source code is available for the developers to look into, to control, modify, port, or even learn from. At GPU Open, this is not our idea of collaborating with developers. We want to be able to give them the source code so that they can innovate with the technology we provide to them. GPU Open is based on 3 principles. The first principle is to empower developers with closer access to the GPU. The second principle is our commitment to open source software. And the third principle is a close engagement with the whole development community. Empowering developers with closer access to the GPU is very important to AMD. There is a situation today that game developers tend to have more control and more features exposed onto console GPUs. All the current generation consoles are based on AMD GPUs. In particular, the Xbox One from Microsoft and the PlayStation 4 from Sony are both based on the GCN architecture. As a developer, you want to be able to easily port from consoles to PC. And GPU Open will be providing features and that closer access to the GPU so that developers can do a better job of porting seamlessly from one platform to the other. The second principle of GPU Open is a commitment to open source software. Being able to access the source code for developers is a very important part of what GPU Open is all about. I am pleased to say that most of the content of GPU Open is hosted onto GitHub. GitHub is a well-known industry standard for hosting source code in a way that is fully collaborative for developers. Developers are free to upload code, download code, access the source code. And that source code comes with a fully permissive MIT license that allows developers to not only download the code, but also modify it, republish it, port it to different platforms. And that's what you need for full innovation. Over the past few years, there's been countless examples of innovation in the PC graphics industry, but that was because of the collaborative aspect of the knowledge sharing. Without that, you don't get innovation, and GPU Open is about enabling this innovation with developers. A great example of this collaborative sharing is some of the work that Eidos Montreal did with taking TraceFX and turning it into their own piece of technology called PureHair. PureHair is used in an upcoming game called Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. And the technology has been improved, it's been optimized. The guys at Eidos Montreal were able to essentially achieve their artistic vision because they had access to the source code. GPU Open is an initiative by developers for developers. The third principle of GPU Open is a close collaborative engagement with that development community. A big part of the collaborative engagement of GPU Open is the provision of regular blog posts that AMD staff will be providing into the website. Those blog posts are aimed to inform the development community about different aspects of the hardware, the software, provide optimizations, and I believe that the development community will find a lot of value into reading those blogs. One of the reasons why we created GPU Open is because of the realization that a lot of GPU performance is still left untapped. Brute force rendering will only get you so far. At some point, we need to start thinking about rendering new workloads more intelligently than before. And to do this, we need to open up the GPU, which means providing that control to the developer. We want developers to be able to access those fast paths or those additional features that we know exist in the GPU, but that may not be exposed. So we'll be working with our different partners to expose those different features. The idea, the end goal is to get developers what they need to make great games. I think it will be very exciting to see what GPU Open becomes over the years, and I'm personally excited to be driving this effort.